I feel like we need Kevin to share to his just crowds of squealing fangirls before we can actually.
You hurry up.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's gonna be a VOD anyway, so if people wanna
Oh, it's true.
check out our E3 convo, we can go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure Kevin didn't like EA either,
Oh,
so
cool.
you can
Oof.
probably be a good voice for that. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, hey guys, welcome to Digital Gaming with 3D Live, and I am going to submit that 3D should be changed. Well, should be changed to a acronym for three dudes. That way we can be digital gaming with three dudes and don't have to rebrand everything.
All right.
So, but yeah, so this is our E3 reaction show. We're gonna go through all of the different things that people talked about at E3, all the companies. We're gonna give our reactions, our honest thoughts, and you know, just have a nice conversation about all of the things we're excited about and maybe not so excited about in the upcoming year in gaming.
Right.
So I'm Maple Sirrah. It's great to see you all. I got my Quebec Nordiques jersey on, so I'm feeling good. I am joined currently by H God.
What's popping? I uh I have a purple V-neck on, so I don't know.
3D should be joining us later. He's lazy and doing, good spiritual work at church or whatever. So
He's doing something spiritual, right?
uh, you know, he'll join us soon. So we're looking forward to that. But thank you all for watching and for being here. So we're gonna get right into it. We'll do it in order of the presentations. So we're starting off with, well, first off, the first technical presentation, which wasn't
Was
really a presentation, was Square Enix and Deus
Oh boy.
Ex.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mm,
not
I
not
was at work, so
Yeah, it was basically just them live streaming people playing Final Fantasy 15 and the new Deus Ex game, uh, which is cool. But they both actually got talked about during the presentation, so we'll
oh
get
yeah.
into that. The first actual presentation was Electronic Arts, um, and
Oh boy.
initial thoughts. I thought all the video packages were really well done. All the trailers actually were like production-wise really good. But EA needs to work on their actual like public speaking skills.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, oh my goodness. That whole conference to me was like,
I thought the London guy actually was doing all right. He seemed legitimately excited, and the other thing was EA kept patting themselves on the back, like that game looks amazing, and yes, we
right.
made it. But the London guy I thought did fine. That crowd seemed more excited than the Los Angeles crowd, so props to them.
Here's the
Um,
thing though, they started talking about they switched over to the London crowd
yeah.
for the Madden football stuff, and they were dead.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like, why would you even do that?
They did have Jose Marino come out though, and
They did.
that got a pop, which that's nice. And we'll get into FIFA because I actually have some things to say about that. But
Mm-hmm.
so first off, they were big on their new engine Frostbite, which,
Oh
to be
yeah, yeah,
fair,
yeah.
Frostbite looks really good. Um, a lot of the Like I said, the videos looked good, and part of that was just the graphics and all of the Frostbite engine footage looked really solid. Um, so I'm excited to see.
Oops.
I should mute. I should silence my phone before that happens to me too.
Yeah. I don't know why. Someone out of nowhere,
Just like,
telemarketers are like,
yo, is that live stream started yet?
they knew.
But yeah, so Frostbite looks good. Honestly, I think EA probably didn't view it like this, but I think they blew their biggest card like right off the bat, which can be a good strategy. But Titanfall 2, I wasn't hyped before E3. I'm actually really excited for it now.
Okay,
Um,
understandable.
just because of that single player trailer.
Ah, okay.
Um, it looks really good. It looks like it might be an amazing story.
Okay, okay.
Knowing it's Electronic Arts, I'm a little hesitant about that, but conceptually, yeah, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I really like sci-fi shooter stories. Halo was one of my big single-player games growing up, so
Okay.
I'm excited for that. Also, it's going to be on the PS4, which is a big deal, because it was like an Xbox One launch title and exclusive for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So Titanfall 2 coming to PlayStation, that should expand their player base a lot. Um, but yeah. Um, so yeah, up next they didn't talk about Madden 17. Like they put it up on the screen and then just sort of was like Madden's a
Yeah.
thing and
And then they talked about like the Madden, like the competitive
yeah,
scene for
which
Madden, which
is
I did not know was a thing.
yeah, it's pretty big. A lot of the sports games have big esport communities, but what was good about this was it sounds like Electronic Arts really wants to get into esports, and that is a good thing for esports.
Oh yeah.
All of the big developers, when they start working with esports, it does a lot of good things for the community, for the development of the esports in general.
Mm.
And this whole idea of esports for everybody, that's not like an innovation. I don't think like the idea of amateur tournaments is definitely a thing that exists, but it's cool to see EA sort of being like, this is a thing that is big for us
Yeah,
already, so why don't
definitely.
we invest a bit into that and see how much we can grow it? So that's good. And I'm excited to see that. That was sort of the thing, was they didn't have a whole lot in terms of games that they're showing, but in terms of development as a company, EA really gave us a lot to work with.
That's very true.
Um, so that was sort of what got them. They ended up getting a C plus from me, um, in part because of that, and also this kind of there was kind of this theme of, hey guys, we're not evil throughout the whole thing, which I thought was kind of hilarious. But yeah, next up, they showed off the trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda. Which
Not even. Like not even.
it wasn't like a gameplay trailer, but it was
It was like
cinematic
this is
trailer.
what we've been doing for the past couple years since the last Mass Effect. We made one face. So yeah, we got
Yeah,
something going.
yeah. EA was hardly the only company that like didn't really show a whole lot for some of their games, though.
Oh.
Um,
Oh yeah.
we'll get into that.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I thought as far as cinematic trailers go, it hyped the game up pretty well. I was excited to see that it is not going to have Commander Shepard, because like my one requirement for the new Mass Effect game was it can't continue the old Mass Effect games. Those are over. If you try and milk those anymore, I'm going to be pissed off. But it's not. It's a brand new adventure. Looks like a huge world. It's definitely an ambitious project, so I can see why it's taking way longer than expected. That's kind of a theme for this E3. Uh, so we'll see how that goes. But uh, I don't know. Are you excited for Andromeda?
uh, I'll be excited when I hear some more because I'm like, development trailers don't really like do anything for me. Like because what else was there that got a development trailer?
Uh,
Um, what was it? Star Wars?
the Battlefront deals? Oh,
Yeah, like
yeah.
all of that Star Wars
Oh,
nonsense for
yeah.
the
Oh.
three games that they had. They were like, "This is what, this is what we've been doing," and I'm like, "Great, thanks for not showing me anything."
Ubisoft kind of did that too.
Oh my God, Ubisoft is just Ubisoft is just Ubisoft.
They had fun with it though, so like that was what got them a better grade than
Oh
EA.
yeah,
Was they
Ubisoft
actually
was
were like,
definitely
yeah,
better than EA.
going
Like,
all out with their
mhm,
presentation, even if they didn't have much to show. Um,
yeah. But then what else was there?
they talked about their play to give, which kind of goes back into the
Yeah.
we're not evil guys. Stop painting us as evil arts.
And they had the EA Originals thing,
Yeah,
which was their new
yeah,
indie thing.
yeah.
Like
Which
they're paying with indie companies to put out the games. Was
yeah,
it?
yeah. They're like they want to publish a bunch of indie titles from these small studios. They said they want to give all the profit to the studios so they can continue making it.
Right, right, right.
Which I don't know. I hope that's true. Uh, I still have a bit of this evil arts um, mentality about it, but yeah, it's a big deal. Other studios have been doing it. Xbox, Sony, both have been working with Even Nintendo now has been working with indie companies a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
But Electronic Arts, they're a big company, so putting their money into indie development is just
That's a great idea.
showing where the industry's going. And they did show off an indie game, which
Yes, which in my opinion was the best thing there.
Fet, I believe, is how to pronounce
Fee, Fei,
Fe.
they
Fe.
pronounced it both ways
Yeah.
actually.
It's very artsy looking. It definitely looks
Uh-huh.
like an indie game. I like exploration though, so it'll be fun to see how that goes.
Yeah.
FIFA 17.
Oh boy.
I actually am a FIFA fan. I'm not a
Okay.
buy FIFA every year kind of guy. In fact, the last FIFA game I owned was FIFA 2003. But
Oh boy.
I play the heck out of FIFA 2003.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's good enough.
it's a lot of fun. It also introduced me to the Gorillas, so you know. That's the FIFA always has amazing soundtracks. Actually, like EA Sports in general tend to do really well with their soundtracks.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
They're not like original soundtracks, but in terms of like getting FIFA actually has been like predicting the hit indie singles for a long time. Like they always have a song that ends up on the Billboard Top 100 from out of nowhere. But yeah, so FIFA 17, the big thing for me, the journey mode actually is something that I've been wanting video sports games to do for a long time. This idea of let's have like a legitimate story mode that follows a player, and it's not like a created player where you have to do like all this generic stuff. It's an actual like legitimate story mode.
Yeah,
Um,
about one person. What was his name? Alex Wolf or something like that?
I don't think I wrote it down, but yeah. Um,
Let me find it. FIFA
but yeah,
17.
I mean that's what I have wanted out of sports games because I'm a big story buff, and I think the that athletes by themselves are interesting characters.
Oh, it's Alex Hunter.
Alex Hunter, yeah. Um, the So I think it'll be interesting to see if it works because
Mm.
NBA kind of has tried to do some similar thing, NBA 2K, over at 2K, but it hasn't really worked that well. They even got Spike Lee to do a story mode, which kind of flopped. But
Golly.
but you know what? EA has shown themselves to be good at doing stories that aren't really meant to be in story games. So like
Yeah.
the light story sort of thing. So I'm excited for that. I won't. It's not like a day one buy for me, but I'll be checking up on that, seeing if it's good. Also, they added the English Premier League managers, which is something that people who like FIFA have wanted for a long time.
They
So
added like
yeah.
three, was it?
No, they added all of the English Premier League managers. They only
Oh,
just
okay.
like talked up four of them. Uh,
Oh, okay. That's why Jose Manga was on the stage. He was
yeah.
like, so out of 20 managers, you only have three on the screen right now?
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, golly.
And one of them isn't me. Like,
Right.
yeah. It looks like people joke about how sports games they come out every year and it's just re-releasing the same game. That's not true. Obviously, there's rarely enough to warrant making a new game, but they do improve it every year. Um,
That's yeah, for a
and
yearly release they should.
and
That's
sports games do drive a lot of the development in the industry because of that yearly release schedule and
yeah.
because of the like if you want hyper realism, you want good collision engines, you want high performance, that's all something sports games need, and so you're working with sports games every year. That does
Yeah.
lead to development in those areas. And yeah, they talked about the development for FIFA 17 and what they added to it, and it looks cool.
Yeah. I
So
will give them that. My only gripe with FIFA 17 is that I don't play sport games, so I might be biased, but like
mhm.
it was just the fact that like the story mode, that was cool and everything. It's just that I was asking people who were actually into FIFA,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Who is Alex Hunter?" They were like, "Who?"
Yeah, he's not an actual person.
Yeah. And
That's
then
but I feel like you kind of have to do that because you want to tell a story. You can't tell a
yeah.
story with a real person.
I thought it was based off. Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was based off somebody
No,
though.
it's not an actual person.
It's not an actual guy.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
it's
Oh my.
it's basically a custom character, except you don't get to actually create them yourself because they want like in the NBA things. Part of why it didn't work was they let you actually create your player, which meant I obviously am white. I created a white person. The voice actor was very clearly not white.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they like can't show any of your family members because they don't know what race you're going to play, and it might not make sense when doing like this Alex Hunter thing where they create a player and give him to you.
And they basically,
They can
my
do all
thing
that.
is,
Yeah.
my question was that who was that guy that went on before?
Oh, that I believe is the voice actor and the person
That's the
that they
voice
like.
actor and the model because they
Yeah,
looked
yeah,
exactly the same.
and
I
yeah.
thought that was the real. Okay, see, okay.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
huh.
It was confusing to me too. I didn't know if Alex Hunter was this person I hadn't heard of.
That's what I'm saying.
But it does make sense, like why they did that. And
I just love kind of like,
that might have been like the hypest presentation-wise moment when you have
yeah,
Alex Hunter come out and be like, "You get to play as me and learn my story." That was well done.
yeah. My other thing was just that like, in the whole trailer, he only had like one facial expression the entire time. I was like, is
Yeah.
he? And
Yeah.
it was like,
Ooh.
and I was like, okay, well, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's something they'll definitely improve upon.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Probably for FIFA 18, they'll probably do like three people, three story modes instead of two, instead of one, and they'll just keep going off that.
yeah, or some. It'll be interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then EA Originals was talked about, and then they talked about the upcoming Battlefront DLC, as well as as you mentioned earlier, all of the Star Wars nonsense that doesn't really. It,
Those whole shenanigans.
it was basically them being like, guys, like literally every EA studio is working on Star Wars something
We're
or other
doing
right
something.
now.
We promise.
And it's all Star Wars. Like everyone is doing Star Wars.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. Like, I was disappointed by the new Battlefront just because I was a fan of the old Battlefront. It's fine. It's a fine game. It's not the game I wanted after
I heard
like
it was
10
hella.
years.
I heard it was hella boring because like it looked pretty, like it looked amazing,
Mhm.
but everything else was just like, oh.
It's a Battlefield game. Like,
Eh.
if you like Battlefield, Battlefront is Star Wars Battlefield. Speaking of which, last thing from EA was Battlefield 1.
Yo, can I say something though?
Go.
E3, you need to have more than one. Okay, people. Yeah, I don't know. If somehow a developer is listening, someone who has a hand in E3, please tell them to make more than one trailer. I was sick and tired of seeing that guy get shot by the ear and going like this every time they talked
Yeah.
about Battlefield.
Yeah.
I was so sick of seeing that same trailer. Like, I understand, but like that you got to do better.
Yeah.
He was literally
Especially for your biggest game. Like this
right.
was what they were selling at E3 was Battlefield 1. This is the game
Yeah.
that we have been working on, the big one.
And
Our
everyone
finisher.
that talked about
Yeah.
it showed the same trailer of the same guy getting shot in that same ear. Like he's like, I could only see that so many times.
Yeah. It was I agree with that. As for the game itself,
As for the game itself, I mean, yeah, people were playing it. They had celebrities,
yeah.
playing it.
It
I thought it looked good.
yeah, it looks gorgeous. That goes kind of back to the Frostbite engine. It's a big game. I forget how many people they had playing it simultaneously. It was like 64 or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
Um, that's huge. That's sort of what the goal
yeah,
for military shooters is to have like full scale battles, and
yeah.
World War One was kind of the era where you could have that sort of thing. Modern combat's a lot more small squadron based, which in part is like just the limitations of gaming up to this point.
Yeah.
But uh, it's cool. Dynamic destruction is always something that like people want to see in their shooter games, and if you're promising that, you better deliver. But we'll see. It looks cool. So that was EA. Again, I gave them a C plus. I thought they didn't do anything like they didn't blow me off my feet, but they had some announcements that I'm like, okay, I think the direction the company is headed is definitely a positive one.
Yeah.
So that's better than a flat C, which would just be like
Mhm.
nothing's changing, but we weren't in a bad place before, is what I would define a C as.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think overall?
So instead of a grade, I did it out of 10.
Okay.
And so technically, like EA got an F because everything that was there, we already like we. It was like you at that point. It was saying I felt like EA didn't need a conference at all. They could have just had all that on the show floor and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like so bad when it comes to like conferences like that, because I learned that like watching E3, like this isn't only for the consumer, this is for investors too.
Yeah.
And so, to be honest, EA didn't really show anything like besides fee, I guess.
Well,
And
technically, it was the like announcement that Titanfall 2 will have a single player was something that was new. So.
true. Titanfall 2 having a single player, FIFA having a story mode.
Mhm.
That those three things, and I mean, yeah, but you do not have. But there's a thing, like if that's the only thing, you don't need to have a
Yeah.
conference for
Right.
that.
Again, I
So,
feel like most of their announcements were not actually games. It was
and I
it
think they
was
should have
the
definitely spent more time on EA Originals.
yeah
They would have got a better
yeah.
score for me if they did, but they only showed fee. And I was like, well, thanks. You have any more? And then they moved on.
Yeah.
So
I
I
agree.
gave them a clean 3.5 out of 10 because like they just didn't need to have a conference and they didn't need to be
Hmm.
there.
Hmm. As someone who doesn't read any of the spoilers sites or anything like that, you know, there was some I didn't know uh, most of the Star Wars games, and it was the first look I actually had gotten at Battlefield 1, so
Oh, okay.
I think that's why I gave them a slightly higher grade. But
Okay.
yeah, I agree. They were definitely the weakest, and I could see definitely. Um, you could have done the entire conference on EA Originals, I think, and that would have been
Yeah.
cool. But you know, they're a big company; they're scared to do stuff like that. Next up, Bethesda.
Oh boy, how the mighty have fallen.
My biggest problem right off the bat was if you watched the 2015 conference, you've seen the 2016 conference.
Oh my gosh.
Like
2015.
and
It was the first year they did it, and it was so good.
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
and then this year, like, no fault on Bethesda. Bethesda just didn't have anything.
yeah.
They were like, well,
Like
okay.
and everyone's like, they announced a new game, and I'm like, yeah, but it's the new id game, which is what they did last year. Like
Mhm.
that's the only new game they actually like talked about.
I was looking
Um,
forward to like,
Actually, I take that back. They did actually have a very big announcement to a lot of people. I'm
they
just
had a
not.
couple big announcements.
I
Like,
I am
yeah,
not. I'm not a Prey fan.
you aren't.
I'm not. I feel like
I
if I
didn't know. I didn't know about. I knew a little bit about Prey. Like I heard the
right,
name
right,
before, like like the old game Prey.
yeah,
And then when I actually saw it, I was like, wait a minute, fresh IP. But then it said Prey. I'm like, yo, okay, I've heard of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't know anything about it.
Well, there was it's the sequel to the original Prey, obviously, but it is the second attempt at making one because there was a Prey 2 announced at one point, but they canceled it, I believe, in 2015.
Oh, okay.
And this is a new studio that's making it now. So if you like, there are people who are huge Prey fans that are really excited about this because it's a long-awaited sequel, basically.
Yeah.
Um, we'll talk more about it. We'll do this in order.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Quake Champions. The trailer was hype.
That trailer was amazing.
Yeah.
However, pre-rendered cinematics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a cinematic trailer.
I wish you could show gameplay. Like that's the thing. But if you give me a hype pre-rendered trailer, I'm gonna be like, okay, this game looks flames. Even though you can't really
Right.
say looks flames because you haven't seen anything about
Right.
it. But
Exactly.
still,
The idea though of a new Quake game,
yeah, the idea
that's
is
cool.
great. That looks amazing.
It was very Overwatch-esque from the trailer. I think there was definitely a bit of attempting to capitalize on that success there. You know what though? Quake is still one of the most played first-person arena esport games.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see a new one in development, and if like Doom was an amazing game, so if you're like id, go with your old IP, make something new with it, be
Mhm.
awesome. If they can have that same success with Quake as they had with the new Doom, then it's definitely something to look forward to. They kind of blew their big like okay, we'll get to Dishonored 2 because I love
Oh, boy.
Dishonored, but we'll get to that. But Quake Champions was like the one big announcement that they had to make. Again, there's like debate on whether you want to start with your big announcement or end with your big announcement.
Yeah.
I'm more partial to ending with it. Um,
I'm definitely way more partial to ending with it because people always remember the last of something.
right. Uh, it started strong though, and there's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
something to be said about getting people hype, which New Quake. But then you kind of just kill the momentum by talking about your strategy card game. Now, no offense to strategy card games, I play a couple. I think they're fine. Uh, they are not hype. It is impossible to make Hearthstone, Scrolls, Elder Scrolls Legends. They're not gonna be hype, no matter what you do to that. Uh,
I don't personally care about the card game at all.
yeah.
I
Uh,
never personally cared about Hearthstone, even though like it's a good
right,
game.
right.
I just never personally cared.
Which,
Don't
if
don't
you're
really
if you're
care
fol-
about Legends.
if you're following up your biggest hype announcement, I'm not sure if that's what you want to go with.
Yeah.
Uh,
Start off with that.
yeah. I don't know. I'll probably give it a try when it comes out just to see. But they didn't like it looks fine. You need to talk about it a lot more than you do if you want people to actually care about it. I
Hmm.
think. I'm not sure how many people have been straight. Ironically, this is like the second biggest of two card games that was announced at E3 this year.
Right? Like
Fallout 4, I do not play Fallout. This was like the most boring thing to me. But I know there are a lot of people who love Fallout. I don't know anything about these add-ons. I am not qualified to talk about them.
oh,
Like,
let me go ahead and help you out there.
yeah.
So one I know one DLC because my girlfriend plays Fallout 4, so I looked into it a bit. And the new stuff is that you can create apparently you can have vault tech, I think, which basically you can do experiments on people and you can have a little shelter underground and whatnot. And then you can make
Like
it's all escaping me now.
a contraptions, I think was the name of the other one. It was
Yeah.
like,
Hold on, I'm getting it right now.
yeah,
One
it was.
second.
I
All right,
mean,
yeah, first expansion was
mhm.
called Automatron. Wait, available at some points in March. Oh, this was old. This is
Mhm.
old. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, this is like the eighth add-on for Fallout 4 or
Yeah,
something, which
this is
that's a little crazy. You're starting to like get into the microtransaction level at that point. But we'll see. Um, you know, I was always a bigger Elder Scrolls fan. Which, to be fair, Elder Scrolls had a pretty boring E3 as well, so we'll get to
oh
that.
my gosh. I was just me and my friend Ken were talking about it. I was like, "Oh snap! Okay, it's gonna be bet Elder Scrolls 6." Okay, okay. Before we go into that,
Yeah, yeah.
the Fallout 4 DLC was contraptions. The DLC gave people build all types of devices, basically doing that. In
Okay.
July, Bethesda will release Vault Tech Workshop,
Hmm.
which is allows players to build their own vaults with the same settlement functionality that Fallout 4 launched with. They'll be able to do that on the ground, and an add-on is called Nuka World. There's no specifics, but the players discovered that name within the game's files earlier this year. Nuka World appears to be a theme park in the trailer that the studio showed, which you can watch trailer basically. And they were and it's basically I think it's gonna be like Far Harbor, the
Okay.
thing that we got, like more like just basically an expansion, like more quests and stuff like that. And they also released, I mean not released, but they also announced the VR Fallout 4,
Mm. Yeah.
which is
Yeah, we'll get to that. I
yeah.
have the VR stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
They talked about that sort of later, and that actually was pretty hype. But first,
Yeah.
we gotta stay on our like down on Bethesda's trail here. Uh,
What was next? The
Fallout
Elder
Shelter. Well,
Scrolls?
Fallout Shelter. They're doing a PC port for that, and they're
I'm probably gonna get
updating
that.
it.
Like because I don't have an iPhone. I would have got it if I had an iPhone.
I,
But it
I'm
didn't come
not a
out on
fall.
Android, so
I'm not a Fallout guy, so I probably won't. But uh, 3D plays it. I've seen it.
mhm.
It's all right as far as community simulators go. Yeah. So then we got into Skyrim High Definition.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm just like
the
I feel like, because I feel like Skyrim HD, that I didn't want it, to be honest. I didn't want it.
I
I wanted Elder Scrolls 6, which
yeah
would have been clean.
yeah. I just like. Okay, I'll talk about the good things first, so I can get into my rant later. The PC version's free, which is good.
If you have all the DLC.
Yes, which I do.
Oh, then you're
it's
good.
like $20 to get the game and all the DLC at this point.
So
Or
you're basically just paying $20 for
the new one.
Special Edition.
Part of the reason they did this was if you are a modder, you basically already had all of these textures in mods.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay.
The other big thing, the good thing they announced, Skyrim HD will support mods on console.
Okay.
That's a big deal. That is something people wanted.
Mods on console are a big deal.
So that's cool. Why Skyrim? If you're going to remaster an Elder Scrolls game, why Skyrim?
Yeah.
People have been wanting a Morrowind remaster for years. Oblivion is still widely considered the best Elder Scrolls game. I mean, yes, Skyrim's the best-selling one. Skyrim is amazing. I have probably about 380 hours sunk into Skyrim. It's bad. But did we really need this? More than, like, is this the best use of Bethesda's time?
Right.
I'm not, like, I want Elder Scrolls 6 badly. If you're not going to do it now, that's fine. But really, Skyrim remastered?
I would have been a lot happy if it was like not Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like just because.
If you were like, we made Arena into a 3D game now, and you can like straight up play Arena, like, yes, awesome, that's amazing. Like, us old school Elder Scrolls buffs are cool with that. But
yeah, but like,
I mean,
it was just the fact that like it was so silly because I'm like, literally everything they're saying, you can just mod that into Skyrim and it looks.
There is a mod limit. So,
Is that Kevin?
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
I see him, but like it's got the sign where it's like, oh, he joined. Oh boy. Now he's just got to press the talk thing.
All right, I might have to oh, nope, there he goes.
Is he here?
No.
No, not yet. Oh boy.
Yeah, okay, guys, we're gonna take a quick pause here.
Yeah,
we're gonna
let's take a quick pause before anything else goes bad.
Figure out what's going on.
Before we get into Skyrim hate.
Actually, let's finish that up because I guarantee 3D's not going to have much to talk about in terms of that, and then we kind of get to like it starts getting better from there.
Okay.
So
let's finish it up real quick.
You know what? It's going to amount to I get free texture packs for Skyrim, and I'm cool with that. It's more just frustrating on a meta. They could have been doing something else level.
Yeah, for like.
But it's not like it's gonna suck or something. It's just.
It's gonna be Skyrim again. It's
right.
Just what I mean.
I'm not even
like,
sure.
It sucks for like.
I don't know if my computer will be able to run it even, but we'll see. Like, it'll be fine. It's just. It's E3.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of if you weave that in between a bunch of other announcements, then it's like this cool little thing you're doing. But for a weak E3, it made it weaker.
At least they did say, it will be free for all those who have the DLC. At least they did that.
Yeah.
Because if they like charge a clean remaster, should only be around, in my opinion, as much as a 3DS game. So about $40. It should be. Some companies will charge a clean 60. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
They could have did 40 to 60, and then I would have been even more upset. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Skyrim, people love Skyrim, so
yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
People will get it.
Maybe this is a sign that they'll be remastering stuff.
Yeah, they'll probably remaster like. Maybe they'll remaster
Fallout.
Morrowind and Oblivion.
Fallout
put
4.
that in a pack.
They're gonna
sell that.
They're gonna remaster Fallout 4 next. I have a feeling.
We made the game prettier. Trust us. 4K, easy.
Okay. So yeah, I say a pause. I'm not going to actually take the stream down just because um, that'll like break up the VOD. Or maybe I
Mhm.
will. Maybe we'll do multiple parts for this. But yeah, we'll be right back, guys. We're gonna try and get 3D in on here.
Yeah,
When we come back, we'll finish up Bethesda, and we've still got a lot to work with. So see
definitely.
see y'all soon.
See ya.